Thank you. Thank you.
You know when you're having one of those days, those great days, when everything seems to be falling right into place. It's like the sun shines brighter and strangers are smiling at you for no reason, and you just know it's going to be your day. Well, that was me my first day of first grade. You see, the night before, my mom had taken me to a magical place. I mean, we're talking borderline Harry Potter Disney magic, the school supply aisles at Target. Yes. I had no idea that there was one place I could go to find everything I needed to have this awesome adventure as a first grade student. Loaded inside of my pink backpack, I had puppy dog covered folders, flower covered notebooks, an art box about to bust at the seams with crayons, and yes, my box of yellow number 2 pencils. I was good to go. So loaded up with my gear, I kind of saunter into the classroom, and I scan and I notice that there are these little desks with names on them, and then I see my name. I get my own desk, and these desks were the kind that you could lift the lid and it would just stay by itself with this little silver pencil tray at the top. And being prepared as I was, I placed one of my yellow number 2s in the tray, and I just sit back and savor this moment, the beauty of it. And then I see it. The girl across the desk from me, Nicole, she had a My Little Pony pencil with rainbows and clouds, and it was the whole package. And so I'm looking at her pencil, My Little Pony, and then my pencil, yellow number 2, and I'm looking at her pencil and my pencil and her pencil, my pencil, her pencil, my pencil, and then I was interrupted. As if by a sign from the heavens, she lifts her desk lid almost like she's offering it to me, and so I just, oh my gosh, Nicole, where'd your pencil go? This is so weird. And she's looking around for it. She can't find it. And then she's like, it's okay. I'll just pull out another perfect pencil. And this one, if you can believe it, was even better than the last. I've got 2 words for you. Unicorn ponies. Unicorn ponies. Somehow she lost that one too. And this process continued for most of the afternoon until before long, Nicole was completely out of pencils. So I'm going to take some creative liberty for the next part of the story because I don't honestly know what was said, but I would imagine, being Nicole, you lose an entire box of pencils in a day, you're going to have some questions. So she goes over to our teacher, Miss Houston, our teacher's name. Miss Houston, I've lost an entire box of pencils in a day and I don't have anything to write with. Miss Houston, being discerning, scans the room, sees sparkly, bedazzled me, knows instantly who the culprit is, but she didn't just reprimand me. I think she wanted to make this a teachable moment, because what she chose to do was go to each student's desk one at a time, make them empty the entire contents of the desk out until she found who took the pencils, and she saved mine for last. When she got to my desk, we empty everything out, there are all the pencils, and I was caught. But she looks down at me and says, Danielle, do you know what we call people that take things that don't belong to them? Thieves. Oh. That's what I am? Okay. And then in a meeting later on with my parents, she made sure that we all knew in no uncertain terms that I was a bad kid who was on the path to committing bigger and badder crimes. And so what I took from that day was that Miss Houston didn't like me. Miss Houston, she thought I was bad, and the problem was I wanted her to like me. I wanted everyone to like me. And I wanted to be good, and if I wasn't, then I guess I was going to have to work extra hard to prove that I was good. And what I didn't understand when I was 6, that I'm still practicing today, is forgiveness. Specifically, how to forgive myself. I had to learn how to change the stories of my mistakes from I made a mistake, so I must be a mistake, to I made a mistake. I didn't think through the consequences of my actions, and I certainly didn't think through how those actions would affect others, Nicole. But I know better now, and I can do better now. I actually had to practice this before coming out on this stage with all the confetti and the band and the music. I had to forgive myself for mistakes that I will likely make in this moment, which essentially means being less than perfect. So why? Why are we all here tonight to learn more about this thing, forgiveness? And more to the point, why is it so hard? I have a couple thoughts on that. If I stay hurt by you, it's your fault. Or if I stay critical of you because of something really dumb you did, that makes you wrong and me right, and I like to be right. Or if I stay angry with you because of something you did to me, I don't have to look at my part in the way that things played out. And holding on to hurt, anger, bitterness, resentment, this takes a tremendous amount of effort. Not feeling hurt, pain, or grief in the moment, because pain will continue to move in and out of our lives like waves, but just as those memories are about to slip away, we hold on and we say, not so fast. I didn't like you. I didn't like the way you made me feel, and I don't want to feel you again, so I'm going to hold you right here. And each memory begins to stack like bricks that build walls around our heart, that prevent us from being fully seen, that prevent us from having to make difficult choices or have to have difficult conversations, and they keep us from failing, but only because they keep us from trying. Blaming others for our life or feeling sorry for ourselves is kind of like wrapping ourselves up in a cozy security blanket. Not the blanket we were given the day we were born, but the blanket that exists today. The one that's likely shoved in a box or stuffed in an attic, that's tattered and torn and still has milk and food crumbs crusted in it no matter how many times it's washed, right? The memory of what this blanket did for us, the way it was there for us when we were hurt or scared, it was so lovely. But the reality of this blanket is kind of gross. But when we're scared, or we're moving into uncertainty, or about to exercise vulnerability, the memory of this blanket says, wait, not so fast. Don't you remember that time that you opened your heart up like this and it got broken? Oh, or do you remember that time that you gave 110% to this thing and it failed? I mean, it bombed. Don't go do this other thing. Just come back here, stay with me, let's watch Netflix, and just don't do this thing. And because we're scared, we listen. And we listen through self-medicating, or through binging, or through scrolling, or through lashing out, or through shutting down, or we'll make fun of others because, yeah, we're not perfect, but neither are they. Or we give up, or worst of all, we never get started. And I know for me, in my life, as long as my hurt and pain is being caused by someone or something else, I don't have to change. And I certainly don't have to look at the parts of myself that I would rather not see. So what I found is that there are two phases of forgiveness, both of which have been elucidated beautifully tonight, and we still have one more to go. But the first is surrender. Surrender. Letting go of the hope that anything that has come to pass before this exact moment in time, this moment right here, can be any different than what it was. No matter how many times we rehearse it, replay it, going over and over and over, knowing with 100% certainty that if we could just go back and do that one thing different with this new law, this new understanding and knowledge we have, if we could do that moment again, our whole life would change. But it can't. We don't get a do-over button. So surrender. The second phase, and the one that I find most difficult to practice, and I don't think I'm alone in this, is forgiving ourselves. What you are inherently acknowledging when you exercise self-forgiveness is that there was a part that you had to play in the life experiences you have had. The only common denominator, the only common thread between my greatest achievements and my deepest failures, my greatest successes and my biggest loves, and then my deepest heartaches, the only thing that connects all of these experiences together is me. And this is where we go, time. Hey, this has been cute. I like your story. It was kind of sweet with the whole pencil thing, but if you're about to tell me that I had anything to do with this moment, this one that hurt. I didn't like this. I didn't want this. I didn't ask for this. If you're about to say that I was in any way connected to this, well then what's wrong with me? And what always lies under what's wrong with me is shame. Shame. Dr. Brené Brown's definition of shame is that shame is a deeply held belief that we are fundamentally flawed and therefore unworthy of love and belonging. Unworthy of love and belonging. We as human beings need to be seen, fully seen, to be heard, validated, to have deep meaning and purpose and joy in our lives. Even the DIYers, the hustlers, the entrepreneurs, the self-starters, even you. And if you doubt that for a second, just think about social media. Think about what that platform really says. See me, like me, share me, please. We all have that voice that likes to speak up right before we are about to launch into greatness, right before we are about to fully live an authentic moment. That voice that says, should I? Could I? Do I even deserve this? And forgiving yourself, it is like handing yourself the ultimate permission slip. It says, yes, you can, yes, you are, and yes, you do. It is unconditional love from yourself to yourself. Forgiving yourself says, I am not perfect, but in that moment, even that one, that was the best that I could do with the knowledge, experience, maturity, know-how, insight that I had at the time. And I know better now, and I will do better now. Again, I am far from perfect at this practice, but I try my best. And I know that you can too. Thank you.